For the next few days, we're going to be at a cabin. We're 4,000 words ahead. I'm not really sure if the words that I'm dictating right now will stay in revisions. We are just over 300 words ahead, which is kind of right back to being on target, and I've lost my 4,000 word buffer. Hopefully we can pick up that momentum back up, create another buffer for ourselves, and keep pushing. Oh, hey, how's it going? I'm just in the middle of a scene. I'm getting into the flow, so just give me like 5 minutes and we'll get this started. That's okay, right? Sweet. Okay, now I'm stuck again, so it's a good time as any to do an intro. So, hi, my name is Josie, and I'm currently trying to write 50,000 words of a mountaineering thriller novel in the month of November. We are currently, as of this moment, at 24,497 words, so we're actually 500 words away from being halfway. The last few days have been a bit tough for me as I was going through and editing words that I dictated earlier this week. So my goal for today is really to just get back into the first draft flow. I have another trip coming up on Sunday. I know I just said in the previous video that these trips have really been tough for me. It's hard for me to write when I'm not at home. But this time it's for field work, so for my work, so I don't really have an option of not going. So we're gonna try really hard today and tomorrow to get a bunch of words done, and then we'll just hope for the best when we're there. And then if I do end up falling behind, we're gonna have to pull our socks up and just get back into it when I'm back. We are officially halfway through our word count. I just hit 25,000 words. So I'm feeling really good, and I'm about to start chapter 20. And in this chapter, I already have some stuff written because one of the flashbacks I wrote before November started, I'm going to be putting in bits and pieces in this chapter. So essentially what's going to happen is I'm going to have my main character in the present timeline remembering stuff from her younger years, and so I'm going to be kind of writing around this flashback. So we'll see how well this goes. I am getting a little nervous about how far I am in the story for the word count. So I'm at 25,000 words. I also wrote 17,000 words before November started, so that puts me like in the early 40,000s, and I'm not at the midpoint yet. From my outline, I still have like another 6 chapters before the midpoint. So I'm starting to feel like this story may end up being kind of long. I mean, there's always the chance that as I get further in the story, I get potentially less patient and I start to underwrite more. But this is just a weird thing for me because in the past, I tend to underwrite my first drafts quite a bit. And so for the last, I think, 3 thrillers I've written, first draft has been like between 50 and 55,000 words. And then in revisions, I've gotten it up to, anywhere from like 70 to 100K. And I think there's going to be a lot less to add in this one. But now I'm thinking about whether or not I'm going to have to cut stuff to try and shrink that word count, because I don't really want the final book to be over 100,000. I feel like that's kind of my upper limit. There's nothing I can do now. I'm just going to write the thing and then we'll see where everything falls. But yeah. I want you to guess how many words I'm at right now. So I did some more writing yesterday, and then I've also done some writing today. It's about like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'll give you a second as I do my last little calculations to get the exact word count. So we are at 30,023 words. I'm also, I think, 1 or 2 chapters away from the midpoint of the story. So it's just feeling like everything is about to kind of switch as I start to do this descent after the midpoint. It's like we're kind of on the precipice of just getting past that midpoint and then steaming downhill all the way to the end. And I have found myself in the last chapter or two to be writing kind of messy. I feel like I haven't thought through these scenes quite as much. I, in my outline, really just had this needs to happen, this needs to happen, but I haven't been describing how it needs to happen. But I'm not letting myself worry about it too much and slow down. We're just going to keep going through because it's always easier for me to edit later than it is for me to try and figure out as I'm writing it for the first time exactly what I want it to look like. I still have some more time to write today. I'm leaving pretty early tomorrow for Fieldwork, and the drive tomorrow is going to be like between 11 and 12 hours. So I'm thinking about finding like an audiobook or something, especially if I can find one that's a thriller, like a revenge thriller or mountaineering thriller that I can listen to. But I haven't really been outside much the last day. I worked from home yesterday because it was really cold outside and there was a bit of snow. Also, I've just been tired and I just want to be at home. But it means I haven't really left the property in a while. So I think when we're about to eat some food, I'm going to go for a walk and hopefully that refreshes me so I can get a bunch more words written. Because I'm at 3,000 words now, so it would be kind of fun to get a 5,000 word day or even more because I haven't really had any big word counts. The walk really helped make me feel refreshed. So when I got back, I was able to write 2,000 more words, putting me to 5,000 words for the day. And then over that day and the day before, I got 8,000 words, which I was really proud of. And I think the walk helped because it's the same as when I get larger word counts in November. It's typically because I've split up my writing with enough distance in between to almost forget the effort I put in before. So my best days are when I write for an hour in the morning before work and then I come back to it in the evening because I don't feel that tiredness and burnt out feeling of having done the effort in the morning. I didn't have any expectation for writing while I was doing my field work, and the day when we went down, we drove for almost 12 hours to get to our location. And so we got there at 8 p.m. and I decided, I'm not going to hit obviously the 1667. I was way too tired, but I may as well just give myself a little bit of time and see if I could get some words down. And I ended up getting around 590 words. And I used that mentality the next few days because we were there for 2 full days before coming back on that 4th day. And I got between 500 and 600 words in both of those full days where I was there. And I did it either in the morning or the evening, but I really didn't have much more in me because the trip really took a lot out of me, prepping and doing the field work. And then the last day when we drove all the way back, I decided to really try and get a bit more words down just because I knew I was starting to fall behind again, and that's always a little unnerving for me. So that night I got 1,000 words. And it's been really interesting too because I've had a lot of time to reflect while I've been doing a lot of hands-on work. And so I've been thinking a lot about my main character because I'm in this midpoint section. And this is a really important moment for the main character to have an inflection point in their arc. So they're going to view the story or just their life in a completely different way. And so it's kind of a check-in to see how is my character arc going and am I really happy with what I'm doing there? Good thing is, yes, that's the short answer. I think there's a lot of nuance missing and also some clarity as to exact feelings, because I kind of hum and haw in these reflection points where I'm not really sure how I want the character to be feeling, so I almost go through 3 different options. But I'm at a good point now, I think, for the trajectory of the story, and I'll really be able to hone out that midpoint as well as just the character arc in general in revisions. So this kind of brings us to now, where I'm home and I'm just trying to get back into it. It is my first full day back from being in the field, and I actually really struggled today to get some writing done just because I've had a lot of stuff to do. It's almost like the excuse I'm using for myself, because I think that I am very good at procrastinating, and not just the normal procrastinating of just like being on your phone or whatever instead of doing what you should be doing, in this case writing, but I'm what I kind of consider as a productive procrastinator. So instead of doing something like writing, I will justify not doing that by doing other things that are necessary. So I folded laundry, I finished shoveling the rest of the driveway. If you watched episode 2, I was doing a lot of shoveling like 2 weeks ago, but we finally need to get the car out because I'm bringing mine into the shop to look at the heating. So we need the second one to drop the car off. Just been doing a bunch of stuff this evening to kind of delay the writing process because I just wasn't feeling it. And it hit like 9 p.m. and I was really considering not writing tonight because I started today with 34,800 and something words. So I would still be kind of on track if I didn't write today. I think I'd be down like 100 words. But then I decided, no, we got to get this done. And I think part of it was the accountability, was the fact that I'm reporting it online and I wanted to say that I could get it. So I think in an instance, this is the first time where I've really felt the influence of documenting this process, and for the better in this case. So I sat down and I decided to do 3 25-minute sprints. So set a timer for 25 minutes, write as much as I can, take 5 to 10 minute break, and so on. So it is about an hour and 45 minutes later, I've done my 3 sprints. I logged my writing sprints in my journal. So the first writing sprint, I was really impressed with myself because previously this month when I've tried to do kind of 25-minute sprints, 25 minutes is a good time for me. I was getting, maybe 600 words, 500 words, that kind of thing. But I got 1,040 words during my first sprint. My second sprint, I got 979 words. And then my third sprint, I got 1,133 words, which to me is incredible. That means I got 3,160 words exactly tonight. So just to show that I was like this close of not writing at all. And instead, I wrote over 3,000 words, almost 2 full days worth of words. This brings me to a total of 37,983 words in my draft, which is crazy. I feel like we're getting so close to the end, I can almost feel it. And I've just gotten through the midpoint of my story, which means there'll definitely be a lot more words past the 50,000 to get to the end. What I'm really happy about is I'm 17 words away from hitting 38,000. So I have to catch up. I have to draw in the rest of these because I haven't done that since I hit the 32,000. And a part of me is like, oh, I should write 17 more words to be able to color in the 38,000. But I think what I'm actually going to do, because I have to draw in so many already, is I'm going to leave that for myself tomorrow, because the hardest part is just sitting down and starting. Like once you start writing, it becomes so much easier, but it's just turning on your laptop, opening the document, and putting words down. So I think giving myself that carrot of hitting 38,000 with just 17 words, I think that's going to help me tomorrow. Because hopefully tonight I haven't burned myself out, because 3,000 words is like a high word count day for me. I have to say, giving myself the 17 words to do today really helped. This morning, before I went to work, I had to wait for my breakfast to cook, and I decided, you know what? I'm just going to write 17 words. So easy, no problem. And I ended up writing 648 words, which is a really good chunk of words. I honestly didn't think I'd get any writing done this morning, but just that trick of telling myself I need to write 17 words really helped me just get into the story. It's all about fooling your brain into thinking this is not going to be very long. And as soon as you're in it, it's so fun. So I still have to write, though, another 1,000 words. So I'm sitting down now, but I just wanted to give you that update. I got my 1,700 words in yesterday after I was at my friend's place. We're taking care of their cats while they're gone. And I haven't done anything since. It's about, I think it's like 3 or 4 p.m. on Saturday. And I just woke up this morning and had a really hard time motivating myself to do anything. I was also feeling really tired last night and I thought sleeping in would help. But I think it's just that this past week there's a lot of stuff that's been going on. Even this whole month, like writing 50,000 words in a month is not easy, no matter how much you prepare for it. And on top of that, just doing a lot of work. So if you're new here, I'm doing my PhD in oceanography. And I actually also completed my 2nd chapter this month and sent that to some people in my lab for feedback. And I'm starting to work on my 3rd chapter, looking at the data, doing some calibrations. So there's been a lot going on even outside of the writing. So I really wanted to take this morning to try and figure out how to make myself feel better. So I've been worried that I'm dehydrated because I can get dehydration headaches pretty easily. And I've been drinking a lot of liquids, but a lot of it is caffeinated tea, which doesn't help. So I have some decaf Earl Grey that I'm planning on starting to drink instead of the caffeinated version to see if that is maybe it. As well, I haven't really been working out a lot because I went and did my field work, and then when I got back, I've just been trying to catch up on so many things. I did do like an hour and a half to 2 hours of shoveling the other night when I had to get the car free, but really just like pushing myself, sweating, getting my heart rate up. I haven't really done in a while, so this morning I went and worked out for a bit and I thought it was helping, but then as soon as I came home, that kind of fog started to descend again. Honestly, it might just be time to start taking vitamin D pills because the light is really constricting at this point, at this time of year. But if it's all just tiredness of trying to get so many words down, there's not much I can do. I'm still focused on the 50,000 word goal. I am now like a couple hundred words away from 40K, and then I only have 10,000 words left. We're like so close to hitting the end. So it's just about staying the course, I think. I don't think that the 50,000 this month will get me to the end of the story. So I've just gone past the midpoint. I think by the 50,000, I'll have the 2nd act done, but I definitely won't be anywhere near the end of the story. I mean, who knows? I may be wrong because I have noticed myself kind of lose the story a little bit. I'm trying to force these scenes to happen without the proper like character payoffs or character motivations in place, and that's something that I'll work on in revisions, but for now it's a little bit tough and I'm just going with it just to get through the story. So I know that there's going to be some underwriting going, and as I get further in, I get like further off the path of maybe exactly where I want to get, my writing will probably get rougher and rougher, which is just part of the process. This morning I let myself read for a few hours because I thought that may help, and reading edited polished text is making me really excited to go in to do revisions. Whenever I see a really cool like description sentence or something, I'm like, ooh, that sounds so cool. Like right now my writing is like, she walks here, she says to him this, they do that. It's not really allowing myself to be super creative with the words. Today my goal is going to be to hit the 40,000 words, which is like 300 words that I have to write today, so that'll be super easy. And then really just give myself the rest of the day to try and get back some of my energy and excitement for writing, so that way tomorrow I can get a lot more done because I'll have the whole day tomorrow. Not that I want to write all day, because again, I'm really trying to balance this fine line of burnout while also sticking to my goals. It took me a little longer than I expected, but I have hit 40,000 words. Mostly that came from me realizing that I hadn't read my outline properly, and there was a key moment I needed between these two different scenes, and I forgot about it, so I was trying to jump from this one straight into the other, and that's why I was feeling really weird and disjointed. I've gone through and reorganized, and so I'm back to writing chapter 26 again because I had to move some stuff from chapter 26 to 27 to put in that in-between scene. So I'm starting to feel back on track again. It makes a lot more sense, and I'm excited to write this scene. I think it's going to be really interesting. But we now have 10,000 words to go. We are in the home stretch, but I think I'm going to call the video here. Thank you for watching this far, and in the next one, we'll finish this. We'll hit 50K. Not the end of the story, but it'll be a great accomplishment. No matter how many times I complete this challenge, I feel really proud every single time that I do.